People in hospital are already at their most vulnerable, without having to be subjected to unhealthy and unappetising food.
All people want is just good food.
I believe that good, nutritious food not only lifts the spirits of patients confined to our hospital wards, but that it can be a medicine as well. Patients in our hospitals are simply not getting the food that they deserve.
The food's awful.
We thought it was a joke to start with. Tasteless.
Atrocious.
Quite bland.
In a recent survey, a third of people asked described the food as unacceptable, and nearly a quarter of patients wouldn't eat it, instead relying on food brought in by family and friends. £50 million has been spent in the last decade trying to improve the quality of our hospital food, but so far there's been little sign of improvement. I took up the challenge to bring healthy, tasty food to the wards of Scarborough General Hospital. And patients who had been previously turning away their food are now looking forward to meal times.
And it was excellent.
No complaints whatsoever.
And the soups now are brilliant.
So I've proved it can be done. Now the challenge is to bring about change across the rest of the UK.
You know, I'm not trying to create a Michelin-star meal, but what I am trying to create is good, simple food.
After proving at Scarborough that it is possible to give patients tasty, healthy food at no extra cost, I want to roll out my ideas on a national scale. But I couldn't do it on my own. So I've enlisted a team of fellow chefs who I've sent out to different hospitals around the country, allowing me to concentrate on the issues at Birmingham's Royal Orthopaedic, where the kitchen staff's jobs are under threat, thanks to an enormous overspend and a shocking problem with waste. So the challenge here isn't just improving the patient's food, it's about transforming the team's entire approach to their work.
Gaz, I suppose, has changed more than anybody, and that fire in his mouth has turned to fire in his belly. He's got a passion for work that I've not seen in any young kid for a long, long time. Vicky. Every kitchen needs a Vicky. To have somebody that's great fun, that works as hard as she does, I would employ her tomorrow. I think Tracy's had probably the toughest journey of anybody as a head chef. You have to earn respect in this job, and by earning it, you've got to lead from the front.
I hope what I've done over the past 3 months will be enough.
The pressure is really on. You know, there's so much riding on this to make it work. Well, it's just gone 7 in the morning, and it's a big day for the guys in Birmingham. We've got a new menu, new ordering system, revamped canteen, and a real buzz about the kitchen. And that's good, because hopefully if all those things come together, it goes a long way to the guys in the kitchen keeping their jobs. So, fingers crossed. Today is the culmination of everything I've done with the team here. It's the first time the improvements we worked so hard on will be rolled out and tested across all the wards. But I'm confident we will prove to the hospital's trust that we've turned things around and ultimately provided a better service for the patients.
Didn't sleep last night. Anxiety and excitement about today. I was here at 6 o'clock this morning.
I'm worried that James might not think that we've done it all the right way.
When I first walked into the kitchen, head chef Tracy wasn't taking control of the team or running the kitchen efficiently. Her confidence was at rock bottom. But now, 3 months later, she's found her voice and starting to behave like a head chef.
Have a round, please. James, have you got a minute? Chop, chop. OK. Yep. We have the new ordering system here. These are all the wards. These are the dishes of the day, so we've got totals for each ward. So today, James, you've done the soup, haven't you? And you're going to show us how to do the Moroccan chicken? Yep. Yeah? So me and Gaz will do that. Is everything OK? Everybody knows what they're doing? Yeah. We're starting the new baguette bar today, so obviously it's going to... I've cooked off about 30 baguettes, but we don't know how busy we're going to be, but we need to get more money through the till, so just keep it coming. It's going to be a mad day, but we're going to do it, OK?
Despite all the great progress they've achieved, old habits die hard, and errors are still slipping through. When I first arrived, I told the team not to cook meat in these pans, as it would just boil away, losing crucial flavour. I want the patients to get the tastiest dishes possible, and that won't happen with mistakes like this.
Right, we've got a busy day ahead of us, OK? I've been here months now. We shouldn't be telling you again. What is that in there?
That's the mince or the lasagna.
In the pan that I said we never use, all right? So, it ends now, OK? And I never want to see that again, all right?
Make it. What's the matter with the lasagna, James? I put it in here because you was using the brat pan. I'm making it for tonight.
That was in there?
Yeah.
Before I arrived?
Yeah, when I've been doing
And I wasn't using the brat pan, so brat pan from now on.
Yeah, because I knew you were using it too.
All right.
In creating the new weekly menu, I purposely devised dishes that can be made fresh on the day, so that the patients all benefit from better quality food. I reckon that Tracy has enough chefs to do this, even with the limited equipment.
I've got a funny feeling it's going to be quite a day. I can feel the vibes.
The whole basis of this is making to understand about This could easily be done, this menu, with basically 2 or 3 guys in the morning, and they've still got this idea that you've got to make it in advance, put it in the fridge or freeze it. So, we've got to do it again.
It's kind of knocked us a bit this morning because we come in quite confident, and we were all saying that we weren't nervous or anything like that. And everyone's now saying it's like a bag of nerves.
I haven't got over the wrong side of the bed, or out the wrong side of the bed. I only care. That's all I do. All right? Now, I'm trying to get you guys to think the same way as what I'm thinking. I think we've come a massive distance, but this is the moment where you're going to get judged now. This is the accumulation of all the hard work that you put in, all the hard work that I've put in. Everything is going to come together to 12 o'clock. So from now on, 8:10, we go forward, positive. I'm happy.
Thursday.
All right? You can have make me a bacon sandwich and I'll be really happy.
Yes, chef.
Go on.
Yes, chef.
Of course, it's not just one hospital where I'm trying to bring about change. I want to put an end to decades of substandard hospital food across the country. And after persuading a team of world-class chefs to agree to help, I've deployed 6 of them to target specific problems in different parts of the UK. Each of them is coming to the end of their task too, so the nerves are sky high. Stephen Terry has worked with me coming up with dishes to go on the menu that's now been rolled out across 115 hospitals in Wales.
What shocked me, really, is the fact that, you know, because it comes down to budget and cost, here in Wales, in a Welsh hospital, we can't serve Welsh lamb, or any lamb for that matter. I don't understand why that isn't possible.
In Truro, the Tanner brothers, Chris and James, have been asked to develop tasty, easy-to-swallow dishes, which are suitable for stroke patients at the Royal Cornwall Hospital. Today, their ideas will be put to the test by the patients and dietitians.
The food's been made, it's been cooked and prepared by the guys en masse, and today we're going to find out how that food really goes down with the real people that matter, the patients.
The most important thing is how they react to it, and, you know, hopefully they'll enjoy it and give us an honest opinion, which is the best thing, you know, that you could hope for, really.
Meanwhile, another 2 of my band of chefs, Paul Merritt and Lawrence Keogh, have been working in London at the Royal Free, where most of the food is what's called cooked chill, dishes that are brought in and reheated. They're aiming to supplement these with some simply prepared fresh meals.
We've got less than an hour. Seriously? For loads of time. Yeah, right. Last time we made a little pot of soup and we did some tasters. This time we're doing 100 portions of soup and it's going up to the wards for real. I mean, it's, you know, it's part of the menu. So not having it ready is simply not an option. So we've got about an hour just to throw this all together, make sure it tastes great, get it onto the trolleys and upstairs.
It's a learning curve for me and Paul. You know, there's a lot of things we're trying to get right, trying to support the hospital and trying to support the chefs, really. If we get the soup's on very quickly, because we're running out of time. I better get the stock on.
It's a very different set of issues that Galton Blackiston has been asked to help with at King's Lynn in Norfolk. As well as coming up with more exciting vegetarian dishes, he's been tasked with revamping the dining room. If he can increase the revenue here, it will mean more money for the kitchen to spend on improvements for patients.
Well, today's last day. It's a massive day for me. It's quite nerve-wracking because we've got lots of exciting ideas which have been put into place. We are up against it that we've got less than 3 hours to go. I want to get in there and make sure we're well on target and we're going to be ready for opening and when we should be opening.
My hope is that by deploying an army of chefs to spread the word, we can start to effect real change across the UK. In the meantime, back in Birmingham, it's time to roll out all of our changes, and there's real heat in the kitchen.
OK, guys, it's 8:10, so we all know what we're doing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, OK.
James had a word with us all earlier because there was a bit of an atmosphere after he had a word with us about doing things fresh on the day and everything, and I think it upset a couple of people. But he's had a word with us since and he's explained that he's not having a go just for the sake of having a go. It's all because he cares, and so I agree with what he was saying anyway.
If only Gaz had paid more attention to what I'd said.
Gaz, what's the priority?
Today?
Yeah, what's the priority today?
To get today's food out.
That's it. So why are we making steamed treacle sponge pudding now for tomorrow?
Well,
leave it till tomorrow and let's concentrate on today.
OK, that's cool.
Right? We've got some flans that need making. All right,
so I'll just finish lining these. I could put them in the fridge for tomorrow and get a sponge tomorrow here.
I'll let you off, yes. Biggest fears to today, really, is probably when I've gone, to be honest, is actually whether or not they're going to continue what I've really shown them, and they've got to stand on their own 2 feet. And, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, we've done the right thing.
But there's no doubt about the transformation in head chef Tracy.
Right, 11, guys. We've got 55 minutes to get it out, yeah?
Yes, chef.
Oh, we, chef.
Are the bread rolls been cooked?
Yeah, done it. Yeah. Is the soup seasoned?
There's 30 minutes left. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. Well, I was feeling confident, and then James come behind me.
Today's been a bit scary because I thought James was going to go mental at us, but he didn't. Hopefully we've done him proud. I hope so. I've enjoyed it anyway. What do I think of James? He's nice, actually. I think I was watching me. I wasn't going to say anything nasty.
Improving the kitchen's efficiency and organisation is fundamental to cutting down the department's huge overspend. Boosting the profits in the hospital dining room will also help, and a key factor in that is the creation of a new baguette bar. I know this will work because I introduced one at Scarborough General Hospital, where it's become a huge source of revenue, with an annual turnover of just over £46,000. That's valuable extra revenue which has been ploughed back into improving the kitchen. I'm hoping it will have the same benefits here too.
Now, just to put it in perspective, Scarborough could do 150 of these.
Okay, I'll do 151 then.
Not saying that, but I'm just saying you might be busy. If it's going a bit crazy, we'll get some baguettes made and stuff like that before you run out, you know.
It's now 12:15, and we have to have the food ready for the patients and staff in just 15 minutes. It's all down to timing and not letting anything slip.
Good luck.
Time is also against my brigade of chefs rolling out changes in other hospitals. In London at the Royal Free, Lawrence Keogh and Paul Merritt are struggling to prepare my soup recipes on schedule.
I'm making up getting the stocks on quickly.
Is that all right?
I'm making stock here, and we're going to get another quick stock on. And I've got the milk, I've got the butter, I've got the coriander, I've chopped the carrots. Onions are on.
Have you got a recipe, Lawrence?
Yeah.
How's the carrots and ground coriander?
Oh,
he's put the ground coriander in there, isn't he?
They're quite straightforward to follow, isn't it, really? Okay,
I'm just following James's recipe, mate. He's left us instructions.
Yeah, but you know his recipes.
Don't veer off them.
Did you put butter in there, Paul, to start off with?
Yeah.
Heat the oil, butter, saucepan, add the onions, cover and
I've
sweat.
done that. That's done.
Add the carrots.
That's done.
Ground coriander. Where's the ground coriander?
Ground coriander's there. That's what I thought you were putting in your stock.
So did I.
And to make matters worse, the gas goes off.
This is not good, Paul. This is not good, is it?
Oh, has it all gone off?
It's all gone off. We had a little mini shutdown.
Oh, well, at least 15 minutes then.
This doesn't happen on TV. It doesn't happen on Saturday Kitchen, does it?
Right.
Even more pressure, chef.
We've been standing here looking at these for 20 minutes, wondering why they weren't cooking. Well, we've got about 9 minutes to get them from raw to cooked to blended onto a trolley upstairs.
I really need Paul and Lawrence to pull it together, as there are wards full of patients waiting for lunch. Things are going better in Cornwall, where the Tanner brothers have developed 7 new dishes to be served on the stroke ward. Every year, 150,000 people suffer a stroke, but serving them food that's easy to eat and isn't bland can be quite a challenge. James and Chris are meeting the Royal Cornwall's dietitian and speech therapist to get their approval.
Firstly, you guys have had to check the food out. So from a nutritional point of view?
I think they're looking great. Certainly, sort of looking over it, the protein content looks great, and it looks like it's going to have a really good amount of calories in it as well.
One of the points that was raised regarding the dishes was the size of how the meat was cut, etc.
Definitely, the smaller chunks, and it's a lot more tender and things like that.
So it's easy to break, which was obviously so it breaks down, so they can,
and so
they can eat
safely
it.
chew and swallow it.
Well, hopefully we've ticked all the boxes.
Yeah, it's good.
So,
well, this, if you two are happy, the patients are happy, I'm going to be happy.
Braised beef.
Chicken, please.
Chicken.
Braised beef would be nice.
Braised beef.
Well, it all looks good from what I can see.
Does indeed.
Presentation, stuff like that.
And I love it because the speech therapist is happy, the dietitians are happy.
Which leaves one thing.
The most important thing.
We better go and find out then.
Okay, come on.
After you.
The thing that really matters is what the patients think.
So.
Empty plate.
Empty plate, that's good.
Fault.
Yeah.
What's
Not
that?
enough.
Not enough. Flavours-wise?
Lovely.
Yeah?
Really
work
nice.
for you, yeah?
Yeah.
No,
it was very nice.
How was it?
Speak for itself, doesn't it?
That works.
Good?
Yeah, it's good.
Did you lots of taste and flavour?
Good taste.
Yeah?
Very good taste. I got no complaints with that at all.
Fantastic.
In fact, you can come back with me if you like.
Creating food that makes such a difference to patients and improves their hospital experience is exactly what this is all about. I'm thrilled to see it happen, and that the brothers' new dishes will benefit thousands of stroke patients across Devon and Cornwall.
Right, well, gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been an experience. It's been an emotional journey sometimes, but I think you'll agree that the patients we've seen today have really enjoyed the food.
We've just learned so much from it, you know, working with the dietitians, the speech therapists, literally all sort of down through the chain of command to the cooks. You can see very much it is a concerted team effort, which is great.
To get to where we are today and to have feedback like that, and obviously for other patients to try it.
No, and it's been an enjoyable experience for all of us. I mean, it's never easy having somebody come in and look at your systems. But
No,
you've done it well. You've done it nicely.
No, it's been brilliant.
Fair credit. No, we've enjoyed it. So you can start the shift next week if you like.
What time do you want to do?
Doing this, going through this exercise has been great because, one, it's made us sort of think out of the box, but also appreciate a different environment, a different set of skills, and really a different way of feeding people.
What we do in our jobs, be it cooking on the telly or running restaurants, which is our real jobs, it's made us completely think outside of all of that in a completely different way. And if anything, doing it for someone that's sick or ill or in need, or just so they can eat, I'm quite proud that we've achieved that.
Back in Birmingham, service has begun in the dining room. I've put Gaz in charge of making the fresh baguettes. I'm hoping they'll replace the pre-packed sandwiches that were costing the department £1,000 a week to buy in, but weren't making them enough money.
This one's mean to get.
This is the first bit of Lowell Gareth's ad. What's great about this is we've only been open, what, 9 minutes? And we've done 25 baguettes, I'd say, in about 9 minutes. It's 50 quid.
I'm feeling confident that we can start to reach our targets in the dining room and start making a profit, while also providing the hospital staff with a higher standard of food. But it's the patient's food that I'm most bothered about. So once lunchtime's over, I need to speak to them to see if everything we've done to create a better ordering system and improve the quality of the meals has paid off.
So Les got exactly what you wanted.
I got exactly what I wanted. I have enjoyed it.
Good. We'll tick that one on the list then.
Yes.
The stickies of a pudding.
It's quite nice, thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
I've loved the soups. I know they're homemade soups and they've been absolutely delicious.
It was gorgeous, the soup was.
No, the soup, carrot coriander, you like that?
That's it, it was beautiful, yeah.
You like that? Everybody seems to like these soups, so I think these kind of go down very, very well.
The soups are absolutely lovely. We love the soups. They're so different.
Now, little birdie told me this is your first ever time in hospital, isn't it?
First time indeed.
What about the thought of hospital food?
Excellent, I couldn't fault it.
Yeah?
Where you hear these stories from is beyond me. OK, so this is the first time in this hospital for me.
And your favourite so far out of the whole lot? Because you've been here...
I can't fault any of it.
All right, okay.
In actual fact, I said to the physiotherapist this morning, any chance of staying another week?
There's been a whole lift in this place in terms of not just producing the food, but serving it and appreciating that it is an essential part of getting better, really, because you are what you eat. And on the basis of what I've seen, it's positive.
In Kings Lynn, it doesn't look like things are running quite so smoothly for Galton Blackiston at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. He's supposed to be introducing a new baguette bar too, but it's not arrived.
We've got the baguette bar still here.
Yeah, we've still got the baguette bar here because...
It's ordered.
It is an order, we're still waiting for it to
Honestly?
come. Honestly, it is an order.
It's ordered then?
It is ordered.
Oh, well done.
Right, it is ordered.
Because every day I see that baguette bar isn't here, you're losing 150 quid. Or you got lost the possibility of making 150 quid.
Determined not to let this setback hinder him, Galton sees how the chefs are getting on with the new vegetarian dishes he's created for the patients.
That looks better than when I brought in yesterday.
I didn't want it seriously.
This is excellent, excellent. Look at the vibrancy, colour on that. And you've even kept the tomatoes, the basil separate and the kidney beans.
Just to give it more colour in that. Keep the vibrancy in that and the freshness, basically.
That's good. And finally, the on-site restaurant is ready for the grand opening.
It's very good. It's very good. Yes, it's light, it's airy.
So glad you changed the curtains.
Looks really easy to use because sometimes you walk in, you think, oh, I don't know what I want, so it looks fantastic.
First impression.
It's great. It looks so much bigger, the restaurant.
It does, doesn't it?
Are there less, is there less seating?
We've taken up 35 seats.
Right, it looks much better, much cleaner.
But has Galton met the hospital chief executive's high expectations?
So, Patricia, here it is. This is it. This is the finished product. What do you think?
Absolutely delighted with it. We knew we needed to do something with the restaurant, and I think this whole programme's given us that opportunity to say not only could we work with our superb catering team, but actually we could acknowledge the staff need good places to have lunch. And I think it's also giving us an opportunity to think about, actually, we've got a really good business opportunity here.
With the restaurant getting rave reviews, Galton heads to the wards to see how his vegetarian dishes have gone down with the patients.
I believe you had the vegetarian option today.
Yes, I did.
It was good.
It was very good.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was good. Lovely vegetables. Quite a good selection of vegetables.
Yeah.
It just looked different. That was very good.
I'm quite humbled by what's happened in there. I think the restaurant looks fantastic, but overall, I think I've achieved something. I really do. It's been 3 months of interesting and sometimes battling work, but it's
it's rewarding. I would quite happily sit in that restaurant and have any number of the dishes that they serve, and that says it all, I think.
To be able to walk into a hospital and over the course of just 3 months make such huge improvements is a brilliant achievement, and it will mean so much, not just for the patients, but also for the staff who work there. Elsewhere, the work isn't over yet. In London, Lawrence Keogh and Paul Merritt have been creating dishes to supplement the pre-prepared meals the Royal Free currently serves. These dishes won't cost the hospital any more money. In fact, they'll cost less than the bought-in meals. Lawrence and Paul are preparing the fresh soups on site, which today, for the first time, will be served across 3 wards. But they're behind schedule.
This man's banged out about 500 portions of fish and chips, and me, us pair of clowns are struggling. The man's watching, he's not happy.
At the moment, we are running a little bit behind. One of the things for the hospital is that we have to serve on time. I've got 528 patients here that are waiting, and it's paramount for us as part of patient care that we actually deliver our services on time.
Right, come on, Lawrence. Where are you?
Paul Merritt, can you please come to the diary room? More soup.
Showing you where it Up goes. to these guys here. Sorry, it's a little bit late. There's another one coming now. Okay.
Finally, the boys are back on track. And as I'd hoped, the patients immediately noticed how much better fresh soup tastes.
I've had the carrot and coriander soup, and it was beautiful. Lovely.
I had the soup, very nice it was.
I had the salad and the soup, and both of them delicious.
We've had loads of feedback about how good the carrot and coriander soup was today. Fresh, homemade soup that doesn't travel such a distance. It's made on the premises, and our chefs make it downstairs and bring it up to the patients.
Do you know, I'm getting
Really
just as big a kick out of that as when customers in the restaurant say that was
Well, it's skills of our chefs. They can come up and talk to patients about the food they've made. We've done the whole floor today. We can start planning our menus around delivering this across the whole hospital. It'll be a bit of a challenge, but we'll be able to do it, and it enhances the meal service that we have now. So there's limitations, as we know, from the cooked chilled service that we have, but there's certain things we can do. Embellish our salads, embellish homemade soups.
I think today it's like we saw the end results, and there's a definite energy there now to make things change, isn't there? You know, it's only small steps, but significant steps, isn't it? You know,
I'm quite pleased that just the smallest touches make the biggest difference.
Yeah.
They really do. I mean, the
Massive
people
impact.
in there now, having eaten the salads and the soups today, are talking about it as if it was, you know, a dining experience.
But it's just general,
brilliant.
it's just general well-being, isn't it? It's just something simple and honest, you know, and heartwarming as a soup. All of a sudden, it's like massive impact.
Yeah, and it's
you know, and that's all it is.
Right.
Not a bad day's prep, chef. Right. Well done. Well done, mate. Congratulations. See you soon. Fast. Yeah.
I knew when I asked my brigade of chefs to help me, I'd got the right team for the job. And I'm delighted their efforts are paying off. But I'm also keen to see the result of the changes I've introduced myself in Birmingham, starting with finding out from Head of Facilities Emma whether the restaurant's been a success.
So how do we do?
So far we have taken £652.40.
Right.
And with what we normally take from 2 o'clock onwards into the evening, that will go up to about £7.80. So we're going to hit our target.
Yeah. I don't know what we sold today. I reckon it's between 80 and 100. It's got to be. And I think we're selling it at definitely £1 too cheap, which would put another 100 straight on the top of that.
Yeah.
Would bring you to 882 quid.
Yeah.
That's just it's a very quick fix that you've managed to achieve, but a huge amount of money saved.
Yes.
So you can go back to your bosses with a tick, and I'll speak to the kitchen and go through them with that. But
yes.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
When I first came here, Emma told me that the catering department was heading towards an annual overspend of £27,000, with the staff potentially losing their jobs if this wasn't addressed. But in just one day, we've managed to increase the restaurant's profits, and I'm sure, as this grows, it will be a roaring success. But there are far more obvious ways money was being wasted. Around 40 to 50% of everything the team cooked for the patients was being left uneaten and thrown in the bin. This was because they didn't know how many patients they were catering for, due to the lack of an ordering system. So after months of battling to implement one, has it worked?
Now, if I could take a picture of what was here before, big difference.
Good,
All right.
yeah.
So I think literally last time it filled up the entire table. I mean, what do you think? What's your opinion?
Brilliant, yeah.
Huge, yeah.
Probably about a fifth, isn't it, compared to what was there
definitely.
before?
Well, I reckon we were working on between a 40 and 50% waste when I first came here. And on my calculations, roughly, we're about between 10 and 11% now.
This means there's only a quarter of the amount of waste there was before. There were times I never thought this would happen, but such a drastic reduction in the amount of food being returned from the wards could end up saving the department £28,000 a year and save the team their jobs. Best of all, it couldn't be better proof that the patients are finally getting the food they want.
You've done an amazing job, and you know, it's been an absolute privilege to work with you guys. It really has. Really has, because I've seen a massive difference.
Before James come here, we all had different methods of how we cook things, and which we at the time thought was fine. Really, didn't we? We did.
We've only got half a pan of custard left, it don't matter.
Chuck it down the thing.
Just chuck it down the goblet.
If I was asked would I do this again, I'd say a definite yes. It's been absolutely fantastic. God, even James Martin hasn't got me to cry. Give me a minute, hang on.
I've learnt a lot from doing this programme, leadership skills, especially when I went to see Glenn Pennell, and James has had a good talk with me as well, you know, how to lead the team, and I've got a bit more confidence in myself, definitely.
It's just all precise now, isn't it? Everything's precise.
I've never looked at a recipe book so much in all my life.
No. I might bring one out. I could do now.
By doing this, I've actually learned a lot about what catering has to go through, also liaising with the wards and some of their difficulties, speaking to the patients and actually seeing what it is that they're seeing and how they feel about the catering service that we're providing. But also, I think it's built up better working relationships with the catering team.
You guys have made it.
Thank you.
And on that basis, you'll all be here in 2 years' time, I reckon.
Oh, I hope so. Fingers crossed. We come back in 2 years.
Well, you want to be here in 2 years' time, I don't know. There's been so many highs and lows while I've been doing this. Every week you went back and saw a massive change, and just seeing their faces today, knowing full well in black and white that they've hit the budget, they've seen the reduction in waste at first hand, it's just gone to prove that all the work that they put in, and they've put in, I've not done anything really, all the work that they've put in has made a massive difference.
But of course, the hard work doesn't stop there. Back in Scarborough, where all this began, Pat and the team are still working hard to keep moving forward with the improvements we introduced. Pat's been determined to win the prestigious Bronze Award from the Soil Association, a sign that everything on the menu is free from controversial E-numbers and meals are freshly prepared using local produce where possible. It's a benchmark very few hospitals have reached, so getting it would be a huge achievement.
Last time we were here, there was a little bit of disappointment in all that work that he did with James. He just fell a little bit short. I just wanted to say that we're absolutely thrilled to award you with our Bronze Food for Life Catering Mark today. We know how hard it is for hospitals, and as you can see, you know, an amazing restaurant which is packed, and you've been saying how well it's been doing since the changes have come into place. So I'd love to think that this endorsement goes alongside some of those successes and something that you can really shout about now in terms of achievement around food sourcing and providing food which is better for the environment and animal welfare, as well as local suppliers.
It's been a long job through a lot of people, really, so I am so chuffed that we've actually got it.
Sorry, James, you had your time. I've got something else to replace you with. How's that?
First at Scarborough and now everywhere my team of chefs have worked, we've shown that despite years of failed initiatives, it is possible for hospitals to embrace change and transform the food they serve to their patients. I've proved it can be done. So now I've come up with an idea to take our mission even further. To bring about change across the whole of the UK, I need to get decision makers in the government and the NHS on side. I've invited them to meet me so I can show them what has been achieved so far, but I need some support.
Monday, you're taking the day off and you're coming down to London. We're going to make some soup and we're going to serve it to some NHS bigwigs.
Oh my God.
Some very important people that will help us in our cause. And you're also going to meet some of the other chefs that have been helping us in other hospitals around the UK.
Yeah.
So you'll enjoy it, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, can't wait.
Good.
I'm scared.
The major problem I have rolling out change on a wider scale is getting the hospitals to open their doors to me. They don't always want to be exposed to the mistakes they've made, or the amount of taxpayers' money that's been wasted. But I need to break down these barriers. I'm hoping if I can persuade people from across the NHS and the government to listen, maybe at last bad hospital food will start to become a thing of the past. So I've organised a party on a boat just across from the Houses of Parliament and asked along key figures who can affect change, a mixture of NHS managers, health professionals and patient groups. They're all coming because they passionately believe in what I'm trying to do. So I hope by bringing them all together, this will be the next big step in revolutionising hospital food. Today's really vitally important to continue the success of what we've achieved, but without the help of certainly chefs and other like-minded people, none of this would have happened, and none of it will continue to happen. So hopefully bringing everybody together and getting them talking and mingling, then maybe the little snowball that we started will get bigger and bigger as it starts to roll. No amount of white paper that's written by those people in there can ever change that. Sometimes you've actually got to get off your backside now and then and do something about it. Fingers crossed today's going to be a good day. My brigade of top-class chefs is here to help showcase our achievements. I just wanted to say thank you very much. Without you guys and giving up your free time, none of this would have happened, and we certainly wouldn't be in the situation where we are now. And I think, you know, now we can really push this forward. To demonstrate the quality of food that can be achieved, guests will be sampling some of the fresh soups we've introduced into hospitals. And I'll be serving the lamb dish that Stephen Terry came up with to go on the menu that's been rolled out across all 115 NHS hospitals across Wales. We were delighted to be invited to get involved in such a brilliant project. But while Stephen was working on it, he came across a shocking fact that sums up the red tape I've faced in the NHS before. Our lamb dish couldn't be made with Welsh lamb. As incredible as it sounds, it's cheaper for the hospital supplier to get their meat from New Zealand or Australia. Stephen and I both found ways to source local meat more cheaply, and when we explained all of that to the Health Minister for Wales, Leslie Griffiths, she promised to look into it. Now the menu is up and running, she's sent us a statement. We've been very happy to have James and Stephen work with us on the development of the all-Wales patient menu, and I'm delighted for their selection of soups, and the lamb dish will be enjoyed on hospital wards across Wales. And they've asked the NHS procurement to explore the possibility of putting Welsh lamb for this dish on the menu, and I'm expecting a report in the near future. I would hope that if Welsh suppliers are able to meet the high standards demanded by the NHS, including hygiene standards, high quality produce, consistency of supply, at a competitive price, we would consider them for future contracts.
I know there's procurement issues, but I think they see it as a bit of a travesty, the fact that it's not on the menu. I'm quite confident it'll be on the menu.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And we'll keep an eye on it in the coming months and then see what happens. Well, I'm pleased to report that Leslie and her team have managed to renegotiate the price that hospitals can buy Welsh lamb for from their contracted supplier, which means before too long, Welsh lamb should be back on the menu in Welsh hospitals where it belongs. As my guests arrive, including my team from Birmingham, I head to the kitchen, and my fellow chefs spread the word about our mission.
Obviously, the patient eating the food should be the focus of the whole food system. Yeah. But actually, what will become the focus was the system itself.
Stroke patients, because they're the ones who tend to get overlooked.
The fact that they can't swallow as well, they can't, that's got to be cut there and that kind of thing. But it was really, really good actually.
My idea out of today is really to get that ball spinning a little bit quicker, because it's taken a long time to get where we are.
Whilst we know that money's tight, the NHS does spend each year hundreds of millions of pounds on food. And what you've got to do is you've got to make sure that you get the best value. And I'm saddened to say in some areas that's not the case.
The inspiration comes from the patients. When you walk around the hospital, you think you've had a bad day. You haven't had a bad day. Walk around the children's ward, and then you see whether you've had a bad day.
We were specifically looking at the ethnic meals, and although they were very complimentary about them, what they said was that although they're very nice, they're not necessarily what they would eat if they're poorly.
These people are very influential in terms of the way that the NHS has been, and certainly very influential of where they'd like it to go and move forward.
So our challenge really was to get as much freshness onto the menu as possible. I think actually the standard of food across the board was good, but there was no fresh salads, there were no fresh soups, and that's what people wanted.
This isn't going to cost the taxpayer any more money. It's going to save them money more than anything else. It's going to produce better food for the patients, better food for the nurses and the staff that work there. So how can it not be a good thing? It's crazy. So I think by putting everybody together with similar minds all in one place, I think we'll achieve something.
You notice the benefits from the changes that have been put in place in the red light straight away.
Wastage was reduced, the patients used to order food, and then they stopped it.
Okay.
And that's why we've been guessing what they want.
Yeah.
That's why the wastage was so big. So he's come in and said, no, you've got to go back to how you used to go back.
Yeah.
And we're doing it, and the first day we could notice a difference.
And it's working for you already?
Well, this is working. Everybody's actually talking, and nobody's left yet, which is a good sign. And the nerves are all right. Soup's been served. And this is the great thing. This is what I wanted. Everybody's talking, and that's the only thing we're going to get to progress this forward, because all these people on board this boat are the like-minded people. They're all passionate about one thing, and that's to make the food in the NHS better. And I think it's worked. I'm delighted to see that Health Minister Dr. Dan Poulter has accepted my invitation. It's clear he agrees with what I'm doing, and is keen to see how we can collaborate in the future to push this project forward. Dan, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
It's not too far away for you anyway, is it? Really?
No, it's very close by, which is good, but it's fantastic all that you're doing, so thank you very much.
If we were to progress this forward, could we come to you for some advice, really? Because I think for us, the frustrating thing, if I'm honest, is trying to get into hospital. I think we could also work together on this to make it better. If a group of people like this come together, good things can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the challenge is to get the NHS, the system, to take the issue of food seriously. I think the government prioritising hospital food, and the Prime Minister throwing his weight behind this is an important issue, I think is really, really helpful. And I'm keen to do all I can to support you and make sure we can take advantage of all the excellent work that you're doing, and make sure that's not just something that a few hospitals and a few patients can enjoy, but we can take it out throughout the whole of the NHS. So I'm really keen to work with you and continue to do that in the future.
Encouraging news, which gives me hope that it won't end here. And maybe this is just the start.
The amount of people that are here as well, like such known faces and big names, even now I didn't realise it was as big as this.
Today has made it even more real, do you reckon?
Yeah,
It's like people are talking, this is the Birmingham crew. Oh, no!
You have to pinch yourselves of what we've done, and it's all been a lot of hard work, but it's worth it at the end of the day.
Today has made it proper work.
Definitely, and I'm really chuffed in the whole thing.
Do you know, when I started this, I didn't realise how big a project that it would be and how big a project it would turn into. But it's been worth it. At times, I've actually sat at home thinking it's probably not worth it, to be honest, because I'm not getting anywhere. But it's been a hard, incredibly hard journey to get this far. And without the help of the chefs and the support of the team in Birmingham, none of this would have happened. But we've done it. We've got this far. And hopefully next time, can't believe I actually saying next time, we may actually get through the doors of that place.
An invite from Ian gives Denise a bit of encouragement in EastEnders tonight here on BBC One at 8. Back to this morning though, and next, Devon, Kent and Shropshire are where we're headed for Homes Under the Hammer.